Hello Tokusatsu community and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at some of the alters released for Avataro Sentai Donbrothers that I just not yet taken a look at. This is kind of an alter catch-up video because I do finally have pretty much every alter that's been released now that I didn't have before. So obviously we have Avataro Alter just kind of chilling out here. And we'll move him off to the side here as we take a look at the deluxe Ryusoulger Alter and the Minipla Lupinranger and Patranger Alters. So this is very interesting how they've been doing the alters here. For the most part, and every single one we've taken a look at so far, they've been in these deluxe releases. I just recently took a look at the Ninja Alter and Don Murasame Alter and Don Dragoku Alter sometime last month. And now here you can see we have one more deluxe one, but we also have some Minipla ones. So basically, Bandai did not push all of them to be deluxe ones. They decided that some of them are going to be Minipla exclusive. So these are candy toy releases here, just like any other Minipla set would be for a typical Sentai mecha. However, these ones are alters. They, as you can see, are the Lupinranger one and the Patranger one. But what's really cool is that not only are these compatible with the, obviously, Minipla version of Avataro Alter, because they did make a Minipla of it, they are also compatible with the deluxe Change Hero Series 1 as well. Not as good of a interaction between the two. I do know that sometimes the weapons are a little loose in this one, from kind of the different reports and stuff that I've seen of it, but it does technically work the way it's supposed to. So I definitely had to pick these up. I'm only going to get the alters that are exclusive to Minipla. I'm not going to pick up anything that's a duplicate or anything like that. I just don't need to do so. So I'm going to have to build these later on in the video, but also, of course, the Ryusoulger Alter was one that was released in, I think, May, if I'm not mistaken. And this one was just really difficult for me to get. There's a giant sticker on it from Amazon Japan, so I'm going to go ahead and try to carefully take that off without ruining the box, so you can see the nice, beautiful artwork of Tiramigo behind there. And there he is. So, as you can see, obviously, the main, theming of this one is just basically a Tiramigo that can combine with Avataro, or any of the alters that you want it to. But basically, I did try to get this. I had it pre-ordered on HLJ, and then I got HLJ'd on it, so they just never fulfilled it, ever. And then went to order stop, and then went to discontinued, and I'm like, oh, they're just not gonna fulfill it whatsoever, are they? However, it was still in stock on Amazon Japan, so when I bought the Zanglass sword and the Dano Nitajin, I threw this into the order because I needed it. I think this is actually the best looking alter of all of them so far. And of course, it comes with the exclusive Ryusoulger Alter gear, so of course. So as you can see on the top here, this is number 4 in this line. So you can see the Don Russo Alter, or however it's going to be called there. I love how this one looks a lot. As you can see here, it's pretty much the same exact image we get every time, with a piece of the Tokyuger Alter and the piece of the Ryusoulger Alter there, just to kind of show off the whole thing. You get the nice artwork of it there, because the artwork on these boxes continues to be amazing. And then there it is. And on the back, you get, hey, if you take Ryusoulger Alter plus Avataro Alter, you can make that, which looks really neat. So we're definitely going to be opening that in a second and taking a look at it. And then, of course, for the Lupat alters here, as you can see, this is from Minipla Set 2. So I did not need anything from Minipla Set 1 whatsoever, which I believe was just the Avataro Alter, and that might have been it. I don't exactly even remember everything that was in there. But I know that Set 2 here on the side was the same picture. So on the side it had Avataro Alter again, which took up boxes 1 through 6, and then you had the Tokyuger Alter, which is very similar to the actual Change Heroes one, so I didn't feel like it was necessary to pick it up at all. And then you have the exclusive Lupinranger Alter in box 9 and Patranger Alter in box 10. So what's really interesting is you can see here it shows little gears that can connect onto the back of these, or on the back of the Avataro Alter Minipla. And yeah, technically that does work. They're not full-sized Avataro gears. If you actually wanted to get the actual Avataro gears that you would get if this was released in the deluxe format, the Lupinranger and Patranger ones, these are exclusive to Candy Toy Set 3, which I did just recently take a look at here on the channel. So that's how you get these actual gears to make the combinations, a little bit more official. So as you can see here on the back, we have Avataro Alter in the Minipla form, and then there it is with the Lupat Alter, or the Lupinranger Alter specifically. There it is with the Patranger Alter specifically. And then you actually can use them both at the same time to make kind of this weird, good striker jackhammer kind of thing. It's the best way I can describe it. So I got these two off of Tokollectibles because they did actually just sell the Lupat Alters as a little set together, which was very nice and very convenient. So The other alters that are coming out this way is Minipla Set 3, which releases later on this month, is going to have the exclusive Gokaiger alter, and then the rest of them are just being pushed to be a premium Bandai set, which has the exclusive Go Busters alter, Kyoryujo alter, Kyuranger alter, and Kira Major alters to finish off the main alter group. So let's go ahead and open this up and see kind of how bad this is going to be to sticker up, because I know, like I said, I've heard that the stickers on these ones are quite ridiculous. So, but you do get a piece of candy with these, because these are candy toys, so that would be nice. And that's not too terrible, actually, but as you can see, it is a little model kit candy toy thing, so we're going to actually have to build the Lupat alters, and then you do have a little sticker for the alter gear, but as you can see, it's going to be significantly smaller than an actual gear would be, so it's really just going to be kind of an aesthetic thing, more than anything else. So we have the Lupinranger alter, and then I think the Patranger alter is the one that has the worst sticker situation, or the worser of the two sticker situations, so let's go ahead and open that there, open it down there. No, I dropped the candy. That is significantly worse with the stickers, but it's not too terrible. So let's go ahead and open up the Ryusoulger Alter. Let's go ahead and build the Lupat alters, and then we will come back. Alright, so here's the Lupat alters fully assembled, and here's the Ryusoulger Alter out of the box. And as you can see, there's a pretty big difference between what the Minipla alters give you in terms of like size and scale and what they're going to be able to do compared to the full-on deluxe ones, clearly. So as you can just see here, I haven't fully assembled everything, but this Tiramigo just like body piece is already like hilariously big compared to the Lupat alters. So I'm going to go ahead and first take a look at the Lupat alters. Of course, we're also going to build the Tiramigo Ryusoulger alter here as well. So the building process for the Minipla alters here wasn't too terrible. They are very small alters, and the Patranger ones, like I had shown you earlier, have a absolutely absurd amount of stickers that is just really difficult to deal with. Like, you have the tiny little Patranger symbol there, you have this sticker that wraps around, and as you can see, there's all these little areas where the stickers are going to be fraying a little bit because they're just a little difficult. Same with these stickers up here, those were very difficult to deal with. Let's see, this red line one and this black line one were very difficult to deal with, which I really did not like. The easiest ones were down here, these Good Striker ones that are on the bottom. At least that was somewhat manageable, and also this tire ones don't line up perfectly. So the Patranger alter is a little bit of a mess, but the Lupinranger alter isn't too terrible. I do like how this one turned out. The worst stickers are just on these blades. As you can see, they like to kind of fray at the edges and everything like that. And then of course you had stickers here and there, and then you had one around the top hat dial and on the cockpit. So nothing too terrible there. Obviously these are modeled after the red dial fighter and red trigger machines respectively. I do like that the top hat dial can still sort of rotate, kind of. It's not really like great rotation, but if you wanted to be able to kind of turn it, I guess you could do that. So as you can see down here, there's like little handles and everything on there, and we will combine them officially with Avataro Alter here in a second. Now you do get these extra pieces that are kind of used for, this one is for him to actually hold Patranger Alter, and this one is for that Good Striker sort of jackhammer kind of combination when you're going to use both of them at the same time. So we'll kind of play around with that momentarily. And then the only other thing you get is you get these tiny versions of the gears, which are the tiny little Lupinranger Alter and the tiny little Patranger Alter. Now, these do have a peg to clip into the back of Donbrothers Alter from the Minipla line, but you cannot clip these in to the back of the Deluxe Chain Share one. And just comparing it to the two gears that you don't actually get with this, because these are Candy Toy exclusive gears, here it is compared to an actual gear. So it is quite tiny, and he's really just going to kind of sit around and do nothing, because it's not going to be able to combine with anything. We'll just actually use the official gears for the combining purposes. So basically, we can go ahead and bring in Donbrothers Alter. We'll go ahead and take off the Donbrothers Alter gear, and we'll go ahead and swap that for Patranger, since we're going to go, or yeah, Lupinranger is what I meant to say, because we're going to go ahead and start with that. So of course, to make it semi-official, now these alters don't appear in the show. Ryusoulger Alter does. These are the first alters that we've had that are toyline exclusive. So the way that they want you to do this for this combination, take the sword out, and then I know that the Minipla version of these holds these a little bit better than the deluxe ones. Hands are going to hold it, but essentially you're going to take the Lupinranger Alter, you're going to close the blades up, and then fold these down, the little wings, and then There is a little peg handle that's going to fold out here. And then we'll just see how well this clips in. It is supposed to be compatible. That's actually not too terrible. So, essentially, this is the Lupinranger Alter, or whatever they would call this. So, obviously the chain share legs are just so flimsy, but it's kind of hard to get him into a nice pose holding it. But basically, that's what you're supposed to do with this. He's supposed to just kind of hold this, and it's becoming a little looser. But it's supposed to just be a nice, bigger sword for him to have, essentially. So, like I said, it does fit in his hand. Doesn't fit in amazingly well. He kind of ends up holding it sort of awkwardly. Ooh, he had it for a second. See, I knew this was going to be a little tricky. For the Patranger Alter, we'll go ahead and swap the gear as well, because that will kind of make it, semi-official. So there's the Patranger Alter back there. And then for that, we'll use his other hand, although it does not matter. You can use whichever hand you want. So we'll kind of get him into this kind of pose or something like that. And then you're going to take the altar, and like I said, there's just this little additional clip that was not used for the main combination of this. And that will essentially just, you don't really have to do anything, I think, to the actual altar. They do say to fold out the little tires, so you can do that. But apparently you just keep it exactly how it is, essentially. And then you just add that peg onto there, and then he should be able to hold it reasonably well. And it doesn't really peg in or anything like that. It just kind of slots in there. And you just sort of hope that it doesn't do that. So, and kind of want to... It's very loose. Like I said, it's definitely going to peg into the Minipla one significantly better. Yeah, that's quite loose. If we can kind of try to get it... Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's not so great. I'm trying to get him to, stand with it straight for, a second. Oh, and there it goes, flying out onto the floor. Of course it will do that. So, because we can never get it to be quite right in here. So it's quite annoying, quite finicky, for sure. But if you could get it to work... See, there we go. That's not too bad. So you just kind of have to play around with it until you kind of get it to do what you want. So there's basically him with a Patranger shield. So it's definitely fun in that regard. And it does look nice. You can also have him dual wield. I don't really know how that would even possibly work, because it would technically revolve around 2 alter gears, but you could have him have Lupinranger in that hand and Patranger, or you can swap them vice versa, whatever you want to do. And then we have this jackhammer form that I think it's laughable that they think that this is going to work in any capacity. So essentially, what they want you to do for that is to basically spread open the Patranger Alter, which if you move everything out, you kind of get this whole kickstand thing going on here. And then I think you take off the shield adapter holder piece. And as you can see, we're sort of making a good striker or a versus changer or whatever's going on here. So there are 2 pegs right here that are the same pegs that were on the handle. So that's going to combine the Lupinranger Alters together, or the Lupinranger and Patranger Alters together. And then I think you keep the blades, yeah, so basically you turn this back into the jet mode, so you fold up the little wings, which I did forget to do a second ago. And then, yeah, this is going to be fun. So let's try to position him. I'm definitely going to take his arm off for right now, or his hand off, because that's the only way this is going to work. So this is technically a combination of the Lupinranger Alter and the Patranger Alter with Donbrothers at the same time, but you won't be able to use both gears, so I'm just going to keep Patranger on there. And then that's where this handle thing comes into play. So they want you to clip this handle piece, which is, I think, supposed to look like the handle on the Versus Changer, onto the little top hat. And then somehow we're supposed to pretend like this is going to grip around here and not fall apart, which is bold of them to assume that that would work in any capacity. Also, this entire... Ooh, wow. Hold on. That pegged in pretty nicely. Also, that entire handle is covered in stickers, so that's going to be fun to deal with. Yeah, alright, I think that would work. And then I just can peg this, maybe, back into his arm joint and just hope that this doesn't completely fall apart. So, come on. This is so difficult. Come on. Everything wants to move around and rotate. And then peg that back into there. It's obviously not perfect. I should have had him hold it a little bit better. And then that will kind of just fold out. And then there you go. You can go ahead and get to work, jackhammering the ground or whatever. That's just what it looks like to me. So that is whatever they want you to do with that. So that is the Dawn Lupat Momotaro or whatever they would call this. I don't even remotely know. But that's basically it for the Lupinranger and Patranger Alters. Like I said, definitely an interesting idea. They definitely attempted something with this. Let's go ahead and take this out of his hand. That's definitely going to mess up those stickers over time. So we'll go ahead and separate these back into their individual alters. Fold those tires down. Kind of collapse everything back in together. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and put those off to the side, along with their respective gears. And we'll move Don Momotaro, just kind of chill it back over here in the corner for a minute until we need him for the Ryusoulger combination. So here's Lupinranger and Patranger. So there we go. And now, of course, we have, which that's still in the way, we have the Ryusoulger Alter, which comes with a bunch of pieces. As you can see here, it comes with legs and armor pieces and weapon pieces and all that good stuff in this main central body. So, of course, we do have the Ryusoulger Alter gear, which is exclusive to this set as of right now, the only way to get it. And it looks exactly what you would expect it to look like. It has Ryusoul red there, it's the translucent blue, glittery plastic and everything that would be on an altar. And this is gear number 75. So let's go ahead and bring in the Dawn Blaster so we can actually test out what it does sound-wise. That's a fun one. Like that. Alright. So that could be our last altar gear that we take a look at for a considerable amount of time, since the Ryusoulger Alter is the last Legend one announced for the Change Hero line. And we have all the other ones out via the Candy Toy set we took a look at about a week or so ago. So I am going to pick up these are also the only other Minipla exclusives. I'm going to pick up the Gokaiger one here soon, since that's coming out in the newest Minipla set this month. But in the other four, like I mentioned earlier, are in that premium Bandai set, and I'm not picking that up for a while because it's $100. So let's go ahead and try to combine this into the Tiramigo right there that's supposed to look like. So I assume, piece-wise, you're going to want to attach the pieces here, I would imagine. I think that would be correct, unless I'm doing it completely wrong. You're going to want to fold out that tail, which seems a little loose for the peg there. Like, even that doesn't feel like it's a very secure connection. And then you have this leg, which I think would be correct, but it makes it feel like he's very... No, wait, that can't be right. He looks very, very, like, stimpy or whatever there. So that cannot be right. We have to combine something else to here first, I would assume. Alright, I think I got it here. So this was a little tricky to kind of get everything together. But for the most part, it does look pretty nice when you have the finished result. There is like this slight little neck joint that you can kind of make it bend down a little bit to kind of just give a little bit more dynamicness, I guess, to the face. I do like that there's always a little bit of Donbrothers something somewhere on these. So you have a little Donbrothers symbol on the top of Tiramigo here. And I really like how this turned out. Like, it looks like a tiny little Tiramigo, as you would imagine. It's definitely one of the biggest altars that we have. And I really do like how this turned out quite a bit. I almost feel like, I'm not sure if it actually does work, but we'll also kind of show off briefly here the articulation he kind of has, sort of. You can move the legs a little bit, kind of, but everything is sort of so finically held together that it doesn't really like to work super well. You also have a Donbrothers logo up there as well. And this tail just is so loose. It does not want to stand like whatsoever. And it unpegged itself numerous times. The mouth can open both ways, which is really cool. And what's really neat is that he has a hidden sword inside that you can take his entire head off. So that is pretty neat. It's almost like, like those people who like swallow swords in like the Guinness Book of World Records or something. It's like he swallowed an entire sword. It's just hidden in his body like that, which is just really neat. for storage purposes and everything for the official combination. So there goes his leg, because no alter will ever like to stay together. I cannot be the only person who has that problem, right? Every alter in every line does not want to stay together ever. So I hate that. It's very, very annoying. It really does take away from the enjoyment of this line. So there is a peg in Momotaro's butt, and I'm very curious if we kind of try to get him in a semi-sitting pose, which I'm sure will take about 20 minutes to accomplish. If it's possible, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and separate him there. If it's possible for him to ride this, because I would imagine that the peg is compatible. Which, yeah, it is, but you have this very weird leg thing going on here then. And Momotaro will not be able to... So never mind, that's not going to work. There'd have to be a peg hole right down there. So I thought maybe, but alas, no. So, but we can go ahead and try to make this thing, which also another one, I'm not trying to complain about the Alters too much. I really do like them, but I have no idea exactly how to make that. And there's no instructions to tell me how to do so. Except for, I assume that right there actually would probably tell me. But we're going to go ahead and just try to attempt it anyway. Has there been one of those on every one of these boxes? And I've never noticed until now. Wow, that makes me feel dumb. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and make that. So essentially, I can already tell from this we're going to have to take a bunch of pieces apart. And I'm going to move the camera up a tad, because I think we might get a little tall here. So, I know we want to take that sword out of Tiramigo's mouth. So we'll go ahead and take that out. And we want to take the head off anyway, so that's perfectly fine. I know that these are going to come off like that. And I think we keep the legs essentially exactly how they are. And then probably unpeg the tail, I assume, because I think we have to do something with that. And then Momotaro's body is probably going to go right here. So you're almost making sort of like a weird like centaur thing out of Tiramigo and Momotaro, which just gives him a giant dick hole, which is kind of very strange, but that's, I don't know how else to describe what that is. Now these pieces, see, that's another thing that's tricky, is that you never use everything for an alter combination, but I know that these pieces can come off on the arms and can peg together to make a shield, which is pretty neat. And he will not hold this to save his life, but we will attempt it. We will attempt to try. Yeah, it's not as loose as the Lupat alter shields, but it's definitely not in there at a very sturdy capacity. It looks like we can combine Tiramigo's head into the joint that usually takes like the Ryusoulger Alter head or whatever. I always like whenever there's a chest piece for Momotaro, which doesn't want to clip in very well. And then you're supposed to kind of have it open a little bit. Or you can have that as open or as not open as you want, whatever you would like to do. And so now we're really kind of hiding Momotaro's head a little bit in there. And then it looks like we're going to go ahead and take this new sword and clip it in there, which that held in there pretty good. So there's that. And then we have, basically, we just peg in these legs back here. So that actually wasn't too tricky. So yeah, you basically just make this weird centaur thing. And I don't see a place on the box to attach these drill pieces. I'm sure you could find something or somewhere to put them, the little arms for Tiramigo. You might be able to sort of put them on the... Oh, I'm sorry for the squeaking, that's terrible. They might be able to go onto the shoulder pads of Momotaro, but that's not going to be official in the combination, so I'm not going to necessarily try it. So I'm just going to leave those off to the side, because you get the point with this. And actually, we will move the camera back down a little bit. But that is Don Ryusoulger Momotaro, which I do like this one a lot. I definitely think the Ryusoulger Alter is probably my favorite in looks. And in combination, I think this kind of... I don't know if I would say it works, but it's definitely an interesting combination that I do like how it turns out necessarily in the end. So, yeah, once again, Alters being fun, being crazy. I definitely do like these things. But they are just a little difficult to deal with. But for the most part, that's pretty much going to wrap it up here for you today. Taking a look at the Ryusoulger Alter and the Lupat alters over there. We can kind of just reframe the camera a little bit so you get everybody in the frame. So I definitely do recommend trying to track down the Minipla exclusive alters. They are a fun novelty thing, and it is cool that, first of all, this is not focusing on him. It is cool that they are actually committing to doing all of the Sentai alters as actual pieces you can combine with Momotaro. I think that is very cool. Of course, you can also use the Ryusoulger Alter and combine it with like Donbrothers Alter, which actually would probably work quite well because you don't have to use anything on the back pegs or anything like that. In Donbrothers Alter, you can make something out of this, and of course, the whole point is you just kind of make whatever you want, and then having these as extra weapons so you can factor into that is definitely a cool little novelty thing. So, until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR, and you can check out in the description below a link to HLJ, an affiliate link that helps out the channel anytime you order anything Donbrothers from that. And this will probably be the last Alter video for a little while. Like I said, I'll try to get Gokaiju here somewhat soon, and then I'm going to wait on that Minipla Premium Bandai set for a considerable amount of time. So that will pretty much do it. So of course you guys can check out other Donbrothers related review videos in the playlist in the end card, and I'll see you all next time.